see you. It's tracking my face, so you're gonna have to get over here, like right here in this little gap. You see it? There you go, get down. We are on the approach trail. Mark has to leave me, unfortunately. He's got a flight to catch from Atlanta back to Jersey. So I'm gonna be continuing on.
Continuing on.
So I'm gonna be continuing on my own. I'm about a half mile from High Shoals Road, and then about halfway down the approach trail. So I'll be getting to Springer here pretty soon, and I'll show you around up there. All right, y'all. Say bye to Mark.
Nope, it doesn't work.
Just say bye.
Bye.
Here it is. We're at Springer Mountain. We got the very first white blaze. Many more to go. It is the morning of day 2, or I guess it's technically day 1. I'm here at Springer Mountain Shelter. I just got done getting my pack all packed up, my tent all packed up. I got some fresh water filtered, and now I'm getting ready to hit the trail. We've got a short 7.1 miles to my next campsite tonight, which is Hawk Mountain Shelter. And yeah, I'm going to show you a little bit of hiking today. Yesterday, it was a little rough doing the approach trail, so I didn't film much, but I want to film a lot more for y'all today and kind of show you what it's like hiking out here. My first official few miles of the Appalachian Trail. Stunning out here. I don't know if you can see all these rocks on the ground. This is kind of what we're dealing with. It's a mix of rocks and mud this morning. And I am just very carefully getting my poles down in front of me and lowering myself down. So it's slow going, but good thing is I only got 7.1 miles today. Still hiking, you and me. That's who I mean when I say we, by the way. I mean, sometimes I have other people with me. Hi.
Going from the Springer parking?
I was up there, yeah. About 1.9 miles.
Fantastic.
Yeah, you got it. Anyway, that kind of proved my point that I'm not always by myself. So when I say we, sometimes I'm talking about me and other hikers, but most of the time I'm talking about you and me. I just passed over Creek Shelter, and looks like I'm coming up on a gorgeous little river crossing here, or creek crossing. I wish I knew what it was called, but I don't have my gut hooks out right now. Oh, that's pretty. And muddy. You see that mud? That's been our day. There we go. That is pretty. It looks like crossing that log. So this is going to be fun. And I think that to be a little smart here, probably going to turn off the camera. I think
You got it?
So I'm kind of cracking up because yesterday I didn't film a whole lot because it was kind of hectic. Like, we had a lot of ups and downs. It was muddy. It was crazy. I was out of breath a lot. I was mildly embarrassed at how slow I was and just how many breaks I had to take. And then today, except for that like rocky and muddy part coming off of Springer, it is just gorgeous and a super easy hike through here. It is just smooth sailing. Pretty day. It's sprinkling a little bit right now, but it kind of feels good. Temps are pretty nice. And would you look at this? This is where the Appalachian Trail intersects the Benton McKay Trail. So I'm going to flip you around and show you this. So we've got the Appalachian Trail that way. That's where we're heading. And then the Benton McKay is down here. And it intersects there. And someone left one of these little happy rocks, which, of course, makes me happy. All right, y'all. I'm going to keep on keeping on. Rain's coming down a little bit more. I might grab my rain gear and see you in a little while. Hey, y'all. So it is 3:15 p.m. and I have just arrived at Hawk Mountain campsites or campground. About 7.1 mile day. And I don't know if you can see on my tent, but I had to set up in the rain, which was super fun, but I got it done. I think my plan is to kind of chillax here for a little bit, eat some food, and then, I don't know, we'll see how many other people show up to this campsite tonight, and we'll see if it keeps raining. If it stops raining, there might be a fire or something like that. But if it keeps raining, which right now it's not raining, but if it does decide to keep raining, then I'll probably just be here all night long till it's light out. Gosh, can you tell how tired I am? Overall, it was a good day. I hiked with a guy named David. Pretty cool dude. We kind of hiked at the same pace, so that was kind of nice, just having someone to walk with and someone to complain to about the uphills. Obviously, I don't know if you can tell in this video, but my skin is freaking out. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've been using my micellar wipes and a little bit of lotion, so I'm going to see, really kind of assess where I'm at when I get to town, when I get to Neel Gap, which will hopefully be on Thursday. I think that's it. Had a good test setting my tent up in the rain. Worked out fine. Everything's dry inside, which is the important part. And yeah, I think I'm going to take a nap. Sounds amazing. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. This is Hawk Mountain Campgrounds. It's just a long, long row of tent pads. And you can probably see David's tent down there in the distance. And then mine is just right here. And I have a pack explosion. I'm sorry, I'm recording this on my phone, so it might be a little more shaky than usual, but got my sleeping pad, all of my random stuff, everything to keep warm, and then everything that I'm trying desperately to dry out for tomorrow. That is my pants after hiking for 2 days, y'all. And then those are my shoes and socks. And these are my gaiters, so this covers mud and other stuff getting into my shoes. But yeah, this is it. I just left Hawk Mountain campsites and it's 8:30. I had a horrible night's sleep. Luckily it didn't start raining again, so that was nice. But it was a little chilly. I had some condensation in my tent, which was kind of a pain to deal with. And I was just tossing and turning all night long. Like right now, I feel like the nights are just too damn long. Sorry about the damn. They're just too long. Because by the time I get into camp, the last 2 days I've gotten to camp around 3:30. The first night, I basically set up my tent and I was so exhausted that I just laid down and I accidentally passed out and didn't wake up until like 11 p.m. And then of course I didn't sleep well after that. Well, last night I thought I was being all smart. I waited till the sun went down. I entertained myself. I made some dinner. Hung out with a couple of people at camp. And then when the sun went down, I was like, okay, this is late enough. Now, mind you, the sun goes down at like 7:40. So, yes, I was asleep by 8. I woke up around, actually, it was a little later. It was about 2 a.m. And then I basically tossed and turned, and every time I woke up, I'd look at my watch, and it had only been like an hour. And I was like, this night is never gonna end. All I wanted was for the sun to come up so I could pack up and get going. I just want to keep moving. I'm wearing a fresh pair of clothes today, which feels amazing. My pants were completely soaked through. That was the other thing last night. Absolutely nothing dried. So the only thing that was dry when I woke up in the morning was my sleeping bag, the clothes that I was wearing, my sleeping clothes, and the dry clothes that I have in my dry bag. So right now, I am hiking with all of my hiking clothes that I've been wearing the last few days. Those are strapped to the back of my pack in hopes that they might dry today. And I'm changed into a tank top, a long sleeve base layer over that so I can strip it later, and some leggings. And that's it. No hiking pants today, and honestly the leggings feel quite amazing. So I might stick with those. Alright, y'all. I don't know if my camera can even do this justice. This is what I'm walking to right now, and it is just absolutely stunning. I just passed Hawk Mountain Shelter, not campgrounds where I left, but the shelter. And this is my view. Let's pan back over. We might be going over a couple of these today. I'm not too sure because I don't have cell service, so I can't look it up on my Peak Finder app. But, ooh, they're pretty. Alright, y'all. I had to get the camera out for a second. I just came over the top of Sassafras Mountain. And, I'm on the downhill now, and all of a sudden I just started, like, laughing so hard, like I did it. Because I really wasn't sure if I was going to make it. Like, that peak to me was terrifying. Even last night, I was sitting in my tent, and I could feel myself, like, start to rationalize in my head, like, oh, well, you know, maybe before Sassafras I can get a ride into a town and really rest up so I can do it, like, well rested or something like that. And, then today I said, you know what? Nope, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stick to my plan. No reason I can't. And, I don't know why this thing isn't tracking me very well. But I did it. I did it, and it was hard. It was so hard. But I just took a lot of breaks, and I made it. I made it to the top. I made it up and over. Going downhill now. I've hiked 5.14 miles so far today. Got about 4 more to go, 3 to 4 more to go, and it's all easy mileage. So I'm super excited. I'm glad that I didn't let my brain get in the way of what my body could do. And I know it's maybe a silly thing to cry about, but it just makes me so happy. So I wanted to share. So I just had lunch right here at Justuce Creek, and this is just so stunning. It's probably my favorite part of the AT so far, even though we had to hike down pretty far away to get down in here. Had to cross these stones to get to the other side. And on she goes. But yeah, this is my little lunch spot. I had a tortilla, like a 10-inch tortilla wrapped with a packet of sun-dried tomato tuna and a packet of tuna with extra virgin olive oil. So tons of calories, and it was actually really, really delicious. I didn't really expect like just plain tuna in a tortilla to be so good, but it was so good. It's about 2:30, so I just ate lunch, and I'm gonna probably fill up my water, do a little filtering, and then head on to camp. It is morning time, somewhere around 8 a.m. I left camp at 7:40-ish, and I'm just on top of Gooch Mountain here, enjoying the sunrise through the trees, and I thought we could share it together, because it is stunning, absolutely stunning. Hopefully the camera's picking it up, because woo-wee, it's a beauty. Today is March 13th. It is day 4 of my Appalachian Trail adventure, and I'm actually taking a really short 5-mile day today, going from Gooch Mountain Shelter to Woody Gap, where I have arranged a shuttle to pick me up and take me into Dahlonega, Georgia, where Mark and I actually spent some time there before I got out on the trail. Cute little town. Most people are pushing forward and not taking a zero or a Nero until Neel's Gap. But I'm of the mentality that I need to hike my own hike. And try not to feel like I have to keep up with everybody else. It's kind of funny. I've been one of the slowest hikers out here. Every day I have, 20, 30 people pass me. And I'll pull over to the side and let them go on. And then, funny enough, I get to camp and all of us are there. And it just shows like we're all going to the same place. As long as I've got enough daylight, it doesn't matter how fast I go. So, taking this Nero, I'm going to stay one night in a hotel and then get back right where I left off at Woody Gap tomorrow. So it'll put me a little behind everybody else. But the beauty of this trail is that there's always people out here. And who knows, I may catch up to some who decide to take a rest day at Neel's Gap or something. We're getting steep here, so I'm gonna let y'all go. This is where I'm heading. I'll check in with y'all later. I just can't get over how gorgeous it is. Like every few turns I come across, there's just a gorgeous view of the mountains through the trees. It's it's freaking awesome. This is why I'm out here. It's beautiful. Look at that. I hope y'all can see that as well as I can. That is just incredible. I just had my first ever trail magic. I'll try to post a picture here so y'all can see. Speedy and Jimmy Carter are their trail names. And they're the owners of Home in the Woods Bed and Breakfast near Neel's Gap in Georgia. And just the sweetest people. I had a cup of coffee, a banana, which I had just been craving fresh fruit. So that was incredible. And yeah, just super awesome, sweet people. I'm definitely going to reach out to them when I get to Neel's Gap for a place to stay. They have a cute little bed and breakfast, and they will pick you up anywhere on trail in Georgia. So that's pretty cool to know too, that while I'm in Georgia, if I want a little place to stay, they will come pick me up, and the shuttle ride's free as long as you stay at their bed and breakfast, which is pretty neat. I've got about 3.5 miles left to go today. Short and sweet. Got to go up and over a couple of tiny little hills / mountains, and then I'll be there. I gotta say, I know I already talked about it, but that coffee this morning, that was my first trail magic, and it was exactly what I needed. And it was right before kind of hiking up and out of the gap was pretty steep. And man, that coffee just pushed me right up that hill. It felt so good. So Speedy and Jimmy Carter, I'm sure y'all can guess which one is which, because Jimmy Carter looks like spitting image of Jimmy Carter. But thank you both so much. I can't tell you how much that meant to me this morning. All right, y'all. Overall, I'm feeling pretty good today. I have a little bit of pain in my feet, and I can't tell exactly why. But I think it's just my arches aren't getting enough support, maybe. My plan is to look into some insoles at mountain crossings, see if I can get something. It'll give me a little more arch support. All right, y'all. It is March 14th, 8 a.m. I don't know if you can see them off in the distance there, but that's Oaksy and MacGyver. We've been hanging out a little bit. We stayed in town last night at Holiday Inn Express. And this morning, I don't know if y'all can see this fog. It is eerie as we enter the Blood Mountain Wilderness. Chattahoochee National Forest. This is the fogginess that we're hiking into today. We're kind of hoping that it's going to lift this morning, and then we'll have a nice little, hopefully sunny summit of Blood Mountain today. But yeah, I'm going to hike with you a little bit here. We just got dropped back off at Woody Gap, which is where we stopped yesterday. And this sign tells me Neel's Gap, which is where we're going, 11.3. Blood Mountain in 9 miles. I tell you what, it's foggy and I can't see any views. I know there's mountains out here somewhere, but it's really beautiful. I love it. That climb out of Woody Gap was no joke. It was pretty serious. It's a pretty serious climb. Plus it's still super foggy out here. I don't know if you can see behind me very well, but yeah, it's super foggy and all the condensation from the trees is dripping like rain. It's not actually raining, but it's kind of raining. So I'm a little wet. I don't want to pull out my rain gear though, because it's a little, I don't know, I just don't like pulling it out for just being damp. I'm gonna flip y'all around so you can see what I'm seeing. All right, this is the fog. You can probably hear the raindrops every now and then. There's a little drop condensation falling from a tree. Coming down now. We're gonna have a pretty easy couple of miles, 3 or 4 miles, and then we'll hit Blood Mountain. I've been hiking for about 2 miles today, or actually about 1.5 from Woody Gap. Whew. Ignore the fact that I'm completely out of breath, but I just wanted to show y'all this little staircase. This is heading up to the top of Blood Mountain. I know the whole thing isn't going to be quite so crazy, but this is pretty cool with the rock stairs And the moss-covered rocks up here. I'm probably going to run out of breath just climbing to show you, but look at these beautiful stones. Ooh. Pretty. Pretty, pretty. Goodness gracious. I'm going to try to do a few of these stairs with you before I'm completely out of breath. Actually, they're not too bad. They're graded pretty well. Goodness gracious. I bet if I was a betting woman, I would bet that there's a view out there. Alright, so we made it to Blood Mountain Shelter, top of Blood Mountain. This is the oldest shelter on the AT, I believe. Built in the 1930s. And we're up here. Blood Mountain is 4,432 feet. And apparently there's a view somewhere. But we're not going to get to see that today. And that's all right. This is the second highest peak in Georgia and the tallest peak on the AT, on the Georgia section of the AT. Check this out, y'all. I feel like I'm in another universe. This is the path. This right here, all these rocks, this is the trail. See that little white rectangle on that like pointy tooth-shaped rock? That is a sign that I'm on the right trail, that I'm still on the Appalachian Trail and not in another universe. But wow, I bet this is something else when you can see through the fog, but it's kind of eerie and cool. It is just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And the trail goes right down there. This rock is as tall as me. It's freaking awesome. Holy guacamole, y'all. How beautiful. I just keep being totally amazed at the beauty that I find on trail. It's like some parts I'm just trudging along and then I turn the corner and I come across something like this. I just gotta hop, skip, and jump over there to the other side where the trail goes on. Alright, y'all, this is it. We are coming out of the Blood Mountain Wilderness and into Neel Gap, which is freaking awesome. I am so excited. Let's see. Go. See if I can cross in this fog. Looking good, looking good. Alright, here we go. Woo! This is it. I don't know if y'all can see through the fog. All those boots. That's where people quit. Because it was all too hard. Not me. Say, give me more. Alright. Woo! There she is. So many boots. So I just wanted to show y'all kind of what I've been working on as far as planning out my days. This little map is a pocket profile map from Anti-Gravity Gear, and they have these. I bought the whole set. It was pretty expensive. It was about $100, but it covers the entire Appalachian Trail. This is number 1, and it goes from Amicalola Falls to Bly Gap in North Carolina. And what's cool is it's waterproof and weather resistant and everything else. So I can keep this in my pocket throughout the day, and then I have a separate one for each individual little section. And on one side, it's got the map, and then on the other, it's got your elevation and all your points of interest and everything else. So I'm using this in conjunction with the Guthooks app on my phone, and then also the 2019 Northbound AWOL guide that Mark has the physical copy at home, but I have the PDF on my phone. But this is what I have mainly been using to kind of just plan out where my next stop is going to be. So here's where I started at Amicalola Falls at the Arch. This was my first night at Springer Mountain, and then my second night at Hawk Mountain Campsite. Third night on the trail was at Gooch Mountain Shelter. And then my fourth night or day, we ended up at Woody Gap, and that's when I spent that night in the hotel room there. And then yesterday, we hiked from Woody Gap to Neel Gap. And obviously, I'm still here at the hostel. But I'm just kind of trying to plan out everything for the next few days before I get out of Georgia. So planning everything out, I've kind of marked out, I want to do an average of around 10 miles a day through Georgia. It's kind of hard depending on where the shelters are and all that sort of stuff to get an exact 10 miles. But I think I've gotten pretty close here. So I wanted to show you what I hope to be doing the next few days. So I'm hoping tomorrow I can get to Neel Gap Shelter. It is going to be a little bit of a tough hike tomorrow. Climbing out of Neel Gap is not easy, and then apparently climbing out of Tesnity Gap is pretty much a doozy as well. So I'm hoping I can get here to Neel Gap Shelter. And then the following day, so that's day 1. Day 2, I hope to get to Blue Mountain Shelter. That's 7.3 miles. Day 3, I hope to get to Trey Mountain Shelter. That's 8.1. And then day 4, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I could try to go all the way to Plum Orchard Gap Shelter. That would be 58, 68, 977. That would be almost 15 miles if I tried to get there. Or alternatively, what I will probably do is go to Dix Creek Gap and try to hitch a ride into Hiawassee and do a little resupply there, because I will need to resupply before I leave Georgia. My other option is that Paul and Bonnie here do slack packing, so I could alternatively stay here for the next 4 nights and just hike during the day, and they will take me to whatever road crossing I got off from. So for example, tomorrow they'd take me to Neel Gap. I'll hike as far as I can to whatever road crossing we arrange, and then they'd pick me up and bring me back here for dinner and sleep, which sounds pretty amazing, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just not sure if that's what I want to do yet. I have nothing against slack packing. I think it's great when you need it. Weather's going to be really nice here for the next few days, though. It's going to be colder, but sunny and beautiful. And I don't know. But I really don't know how much more often on this trail I'm going to find a place as awesome as this, and people as caring and amazing as Paul and Bonnie. So I am strongly considering staying here for the remainder of my time in Georgia and just slack packing the rest of Georgia. In which case my mileage will change a little bit, because instead of hiking to shelters, I'll be hiking to parking areas like gaps, road crossings, and things like that. So I don't know. We're going to see what happens. I just wanted to kind of let you in a little bit on my planning process here while I'm out on the trail. I know things are going to get a lot different once I get out of Georgia, head into North Carolina. I don't know. I'm torn between, I know I don't really need to slack pack, but I kind of want to, just to enjoy their hospitality here a little bit more. And honestly, my feet are still really sore from yesterday, so it might be nice to take the load off for a few days, hike with just the necessities, and have a good bed to sleep in, really rest up before I hit North Carolina, which is where things start getting a little tougher. So yeah, just wanted to share my process with you, and I'll catch up with y'all later. Bye.